Right now at 5, with these extreme temperatures comes heat-related illnesses. We'll have how hospitals in the 4 states are handling the demand.
And those extreme temperatures continue for another day or two, and then we're going to start to see some relief from the heat, but we could see some water relief as early as this morning. We'll talk about that coming up.
Plus, the Missouri Department of Transportation holds a meeting in Joplin to figure out what the public's transportation's needs are.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5 a.m. on this Friday, August 4th. I'm Caitlin O'Shaughnessy.
I'm Chris Warner. So just like it's been the last few days, it's already warm, already muggy, but not nearly as hot as it has been the last few days at this time of day, but it's still hot. But I want to show you the Skywatch Storm Tracker because that is where we've got some excitement building. We've got some scattered showers, even a couple of thunderstorms in parts of southeast Kansas, all part of a larger complex that is off to our west. Now, this was severe earlier. It is no longer severe. They do not anticipate it re-intensifying. Now, the bulk of this is lifting off to the northeast. However, take a look at the outflow boundary that was generated. As a large outflow boundary that was generated by this, and as such, let me move to the other side. It'll be a lot easier to see that way if I just move myself. You could see the thunderstorm activity beginning to develop on there as it begins to push off to the east. And that's the beautiful thing, is that outflow boundary is moving to the east. Now, as we head later into the evening, there is the possibility of a couple of strong storms out there with maybe some small hail and perhaps some gusty winds as the primary threats. The good news is, at least at this point, we're not anticipating any widespread severe weather. So let's go down the road a little bit, and you can see where we start to get those scattered thunderstorms developing across the area. And we will see scattered thunderstorms as we head through the afternoon hours and into the evening, and again even into the overnight. We'll see a brief pause late evening, and then we'll see additional development take place overnight. And this is where again we could see a couple of strong storms out there across the area as we head into Saturday morning. We'll go through our Saturday, and again there's that chance for some scattered showers, a couple of thunderstorms out there, and then Saturday overnight is when we see another big batch of showers and thunderstorms, and these could potentially be strong to severe as well. So as such, we do have an elevated risk for severe weather as we head into our Saturday, but this is primarily Saturday night into Sunday morning. So a lot to keep an eye on. Plus, we have the excessive heat warnings once again today for those heat index values anywhere from 105 to 115 degrees, making heat exhaustion likely, heat stroke possible. And a quick reminder on those safety tips: stay hydrated, take frequent breaks, limit those outdoor activities, wear lightweight, light-colored clothing, and check on elderly and to keep your pets not in the heat for too long. The great news is after about tomorrow, we won't have to show these for a while, but we do want to remind you of those safety tips. We'll take another complete look at your forecast and what kind of relief we're going to see here in a few more minutes. Caitlin?
Thanks, Chris. Well, with the intense heat slamming the 4 states, local hospitals have seen an increase in heat-related illnesses in their emergency rooms. To avoid dealing with heat-related illnesses, doctors have some essential advice. Stay hydrated. They recommend drinking not only water, but also electrolyte drinks like Gatorade, which replenish the minerals we lose when we sweat.
As it heats up outside and as people are just trying to do the things that they need to do, we're seeing more and more cases of people inadvertently, they're trying their best. They're trying to stay hydrated. They're trying to stay in the air conditioning. Sometimes all you can do is, do your best.
We got to make sure we're rehabbing our crews and making sure they're getting plenty of fluids and water, supplementing that with some Gatorade and stuff like that. But the main thing is just active cooling and keeping them rehabbed and working in work cycles.
High body temperature, excessive sweating, dizziness, and confusion are some symptoms of heat-related illnesses. Don't forget, you can be the first to know about the day's weather with the KOAM Skywatch weather app. Get severe weather updates sent straight to your phone free of charge. It's available in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store, the KOAM Skywatch weather app. And authorities in Pittsburgh arrest 2 people and seize thousands of fentanyl pills. Several agencies on the state and local level, including the KBI, Pittsburgh Police, and Crawford County Sheriff's Office, teamed up to make the arrest. An investigation led to a search warrant executed this morning in Pittsburgh. During the search, authorities found an estimated 5,000 counterfeit oxycodone pills suspected of containing fentanyl. 2 people, a man and a woman, were arrested. A Kansas City, Kansas woman has died after she was hospitalized in a near drowning on Saturday. The Missouri Highway Patrol reports the victim as Yolanda Munoz Garcia. She was 19 years old. Investigators say she was swimming near the Hahatonka State Park when she began to struggle in a current. Witnesses say she went underwater and did not resurface on her own. And investigators say 2 semi-trucks that overturned along Interstate 49 never actually touched each other. It happened just before 5 a.m. Thursday morning near the Goodman exit. The Highway Patrol tells us 1 semi overturned on the right side of the road, then a second truck came upon the overturned semi, blocking the lane, and that second truck swerved and missed the wreck, but overturned into the median on the left. Authorities took one driver to the hospital. And MoDOT is inviting public input on what their funding priorities should be. The department, working with regional planning partners, has identified $1.1 billion in annual unfunded transportation needs for the system. Now it's asking the public to weigh in on where the funds should go.
We look at 3 tiers of projects for road and bridges, and then we have a tier of projects for multimodal needs. And so some examples of what we're looking at, the biggest projects include rebuilding the I-49 Route 171 interchange in Carthage to upgrade it so that Route 249 can be interstate status. And then another project we're looking at is design and starting the phases of buying right-of-way for a west bypass of the Joplin metropolitan area.
Missouri's Department of Transportation system covers more than 33,000 miles of roads and more than 10,000 bridges. That's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in the 4 states region, coming up on the KOAM Morning News. Crowder College gains a new player for its softball team. We'll have the details in sports. Plus, do you enjoy sleeping in the weekend? Well, you may want to reconsider that, as it could be bad for you. And the most extreme heat is almost gone. We'll tell you when you'll start to see relief. Chris Warner has your weekend forecast straight ahead. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back.
Well, elsewhere in the world, you might be hearing Los Gorillas de Pitt State juegan baloncesto in España, or the Pitt State Gorillas are playing basketball in Spain. PSU wins its first game in Madrid, 83-62. Every player on its roster was able to get into the game. Head coach Amanda David says she's excited the players on her team get to experience a unique trip like this together, and it shows how the surroundings may be different, but the game still the same. The Gorillas have another game in Madrid, one in Barcelona, then be back in Pittsburgh a week from yesterday. Well, Katie Simpson, who just finished up an all-state junior year at Columbus High School, announces she'll be continuing her softball career at Crowder College. The rising senior gave a ton of credit to her high school coach, Amy Saporito, who she says has been there for her since T-ball. And now that Simpson has the college commitment out of the way before her senior year, she says it feels pretty freeing.
Now that I'm committed, it's kind of a big release off my shoulders, relaxer for a little bit. But I know that when I get to Crowder, it'll be back up because you'll have those bigger colleges looking at you, possibly. I personally have not looked into where I will go after Crowder or where I want to go, but I'm kind of just going to play it out and see.
Pittsburgh Post 64 began play in the American Legion Regional Tournament in Alabama the other day against the host team from Shelby City. The game was supposed to start at 7, but began a couple hours late after the previous games on that same field ran long. And the Patriots trailed early in that game until this deep fly ball into right center off the bat of Caleb Scales. That'd bring in a runner and tie the game up at 2. Later on, the game was tied until Quentin Fears comes up to the plate with the bases loaded. He lines one into center, and it drops down for a walk-off single. Pittsburgh advances in the winner's bracket. Well, still to come, a stolen baby monkey is reunited with its mother in Italy. And we're going to take a look at how long this heat lasts and when the relief gets here when the KOAM Morning News returns. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 5:15 now on this finally Friday, and take a look at this. This is really happening. I know we've shown you the Skywatch Storm Tracker a few different times with some isolated showers, and I've had to tell you 90% of what you're seeing isn't actually out there. This is really out there. Now, it's not a lot, but by golly, we're seeing additional shower and thunderstorm development taking place in our northern counties, and we'll very likely see a little bit more out to the west thanks to this big complex of what once was some strong to severe thunderstorms. Now, you can see the stronger portion of this complex is starting to turn back to the northeast, but do you see this outflow boundary that came racing off of this thing? It's starting to trigger additional shower and thunderstorm development, and it is pushing off to the east. So here's the other thing though on this. This outflow boundary, as it moves into our area, if it continues to hold, could generate some fairly gusty winds ahead of it just because of how quickly it's moving. And then we'll see some thunderstorms possible back behind that. And this is not our only opportunity for showers and storms over the next several days. Now, as we head into this evening and into the overnight, we do have the possibility of a couple of strong storms, maybe some small hail and gusty winds out there, but we're not anticipating any widespread severe weather tonight. So as we head into the afternoon, we're going to continue with partly to mostly cloudy skies and scattered showers and thunderstorms. Not everyone's seeing rain all at once, but some of us will get some showers. Unfortunately, it doesn't do much for our temperatures today. Still hot. As we head into Saturday morning, another batch of showers and thunderstorms, and again, could see a couple more strong storms Saturday morning, and we'll continue with these scattered thunderstorms throughout our Saturday, and then as we go into the late evening and overnight hours on Saturday, heading into Sunday, we see this, another big batch of showers and thunderstorms, and as such for that, we do have an elevated risk for some strong to severe thunderstorms as we head into our Saturday night into Sunday morning, primarily for damaging wind gusts out there. We also still have the excessive heat warnings across the area through to the late evening hours, with heat index values anywhere from 105 to 115, making heat exhaustion likely out there. And we want to remind you, stay hydrated, take breaks, limit those outdoor activities, wear the lightweight clothes, and check on the elderly, and don't let your pets out for too long. MoDOT camera, 20th and Range Line, looking all right. Same from the KDOT camera at 69 and East 520th Avenue. In Joplin right now, we are at 76 degrees, and it feels like 76. We don't have a heat index out there this morning. We've had one nearly every day this week. 73 Iola, 75 Fort Scott, 76 in Nevada, Lamar, Carthage, 75 Pittsburgh, Parsons, Chanute, and a little warmer down south, 81 in Miami. So we'll have those isolated showers, a couple of thunderstorms through the morning, a little cooler, upper 80s as we head into the late morning. Still looking at triple digits and upper 90s out there today, but we'll see the partly to mostly cloudy skies with scattered thunderstorms. Those continue as we head into the evening hours, and a little more manageable tonight as well, dropping back into the mid-70s overnight. And we'll continue with the triple digits one more day on Saturday. Then that better storm system comes in with those possible strong severe storms, but it kicks us down, look at this, back into the upper 80s and 90s as we head into the next work week. Let's check your forecast. We're back with Health Watch right after this.
Topping Health Watch this morning, all infants under 8 months of age should get a new antibody shot to protect against a severe RSV, a lung-attacking virus. That's a determination of a panel of independent experts that advises the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention on its immunization recommendations. Nirsevimab is the first product available to protect all newborns against RSV. The Food and Drug Administration approved it for newborns last month. The Advisory Committee on Immunizations Practices voted unanimously Thursday to recommend the injection. It will be added to the CDC's child immunization schedule once the CDC director signs off. And a new study is showing how pervasive racial and ethnic disparities are when it comes to health care in the United States. Researchers analyzed data about mortality across the country from 2000 to 2019 and assessed 19 different causes of death. They found Black and American Indian people had the highest overall mortality rates each year and the highest mortality rates for nearly all causes or death nationwide. The study points to 4 key factors that account for these communities being at a disadvantage. They are the differences in access to care, the quality of care, personal health behaviors, and broader social factors that can affect health. And more sleep on weekends could be hurting your gut health. A study published in the European Journal of Nutrition finds irregular sleep patterns may increase gut bacteria linked to obesity, diabetes, inflammation, and heart problems. Researchers say sleeping in for 90 minutes longer on the weekends can disrupt the body's internal clock. They call this disruption social jet lag and say it has been linked to poorer diets as well. The study included about 1,000 adults who had regular and irregular sleep schedules. Scientists recommend having regular sleep patterns in order to maintain a healthy gut. And advocates around the world are raising awareness to try to increase the number of mothers breastfeeding their babies. Bradley Blackburn has more on the benefits for baby and mom.
The theme for this World Breastfeeding Week is Let's Make Breastfeeding at Work work, highlighting the need to improve protections and support for new moms in the workplace. Infants who are only breastfed for the first 6 months of life increased by 10 percentage points to 48% globally in the last decade. That's according to UNICEF and the World Health Organization. Breastfeeding can benefit both babies and their moms, helping protect against certain illnesses and diseases. A new study of nearly 10 million infants in the U.S. found breastfed babies were 33% less likely to die within the first year of life compared to babies who were not breastfed. The American Academy of Pediatrics recommends exclusive breastfeeding for about 6 months and then continuing to breastfeed while introducing other foods until a child is at least 12 months old. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
UNICEF and the World Health Organization say workplace policies like paid maternity leave, breaks for breastfeeding, and lactation rooms are critical to create a positive environment that encourages continued breastfeeding. That's a look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
And we do continue with excessive heat warnings across the area, but we're starting to see a few more scattered showers and thunderstorms, and relief is on the way. We'll have the latest on your forecast when we come back.
Right now at 5:30, Neosha Freeman is set to expand with the help of $1.2 million.
And we continue with excessive heat warnings across the area, but we do have relief on the way. We'll look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, Freeman and Pitt State Athletics renew their partnership.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5:27 a.m. I'm Caitlin O'Shaughnessy.
I'm Chris Warner. So it is again warm and muggy out there today, but
That
not
is.
nearly as warm and muggy as it has been the last few days. In fact, we don't even have a heat index this morning. Last few days, we've had one up in near 90 degrees.
Perfect. That's good
and
to hear.
Even better news, we have showers and thunderstorms out there across the area, which we can see on the Skywatch Storm Tracker. We've got them. They're scattered right now. There's not a bunch of them, but we will continue to see the chances for scattered showers and thunderstorms over the next several days. And that is also ultimately going to lead to a cool down. So we do have, we got a couple of lightning strikes now. So these have just been some good moderate showers. They're starting to blossom up a little bit into thunderstorms. And they're all part of this big complex of what once was severe thunderstorms beginning to die out, but it's also sent out a nice outflow boundary, which is allowing for some additional development. Now, the good news is, because I know we don't need the severe weather, we're not anticipating any severe weather with this activity. It won't be until later this evening and then again tomorrow night where we might see some stronger storms out there. And this is what we're looking at. Maybe some small hail, perhaps some gusty winds as we head into the late evening and overnight hours tonight. Otherwise, between now and then, a strong storm or two would be possible this afternoon, but that's a little less likely as we're just going to continue to see some isolated to widely scattered showers and thunderstorms to the afternoon and evening. Then you see that complex as we go overnight. That's our better opportunity for some stronger storms. Our Saturday repeats the same pattern. We'll see scattered thunderstorms throughout the day, and then it'll be late night into the overnight, early morning Sunday. We see another complex of showers and thunderstorms, and those could be strong to severe as well. We do have an elevated risk Saturday night into Sunday morning. We also still have, of course, the excessive heat warnings across the area through late evening tonight for heat index values anywhere from 105 to 115. Make it again, heat exhaustion likely, heat stroke possible. So we do want to take a moment and just continue to remind you, and hopefully today and tomorrow, the last couple of days, we'll have to tell you this. Stay hydrated, take frequent breaks, limit those strenuous outdoor activities, wear the lightweight colored clothes, and check on the elderly, and don't leave your pets outside too long. There's some great relief on the way in your forecast. We'll take another full look at that here in a few more minutes. Caitlin?
Thanks, Chris. Well, the Freeman Neosha Physician Group gets set to receive an extensive overhaul. It's getting an expansion with the help of a $1.2 million investment. Freeman is building a family medicine residency clinic for Kansas City University. The clinic will have 6 residents total, with 2 new ones added each year.
Our goal is to maintain health, so we're here to try to help people stay healthy for as long as possible, and when problems happen, to help address those in an effective and I guess cost-effective way.
So to be able to care for an infant and your 95-year-old grandmother, the needs are different. And so to be able to practice in a rural community and have that constant exposure to things that you might not otherwise see in an urban area will help their training process and help them gain knowledge to care for very specific medical conditions.
The clinic is projected to open July 2024, and Freeman is currently searching for their newest 2 residents. And Freeman Health System and Pitt State Athletics announced plans to continue their partnership. They made the announcement at a news conference yesterday at the Robert W. Plaster Center in Pittsburgh. The unique partnership between Freeman physicians and athletic trainers and PSU was first established in 2014.
It means a lot to us, what they've done for us in the past 8 to 9 years, but really does solidify this partnership going forward to provide great health care for our student athletes for another 5 years and beyond is really an important day for us.
It's very rewarding for me to see a person go from basically a heartbreaking situation where they have an injury and they're not able to compete as they'd like, but to be a part of a team. And that's where Freeman comes in, because we have physical therapy here, we have athletic training here, we have strength and conditioning, we have nutrition.
This contract will carry the partnership another 5 years. And some area kids get hands-on experience and careers in the healthcare industry. Mercy Hospital Joplin hosted the 2023 MASH Camp Kids Science and Health Exploration Day. The MASH Camp aims to spark interest in the science and healthcare fields for middle school and junior high age students. Students got to tour some of the hospital's features and departments, as well as emergency vehicles, operating rooms, imaging rooms, and more.
About the other different jobs and opportunities, it's really opened up different jobs for me, and different options for me to know.
So we have them kind of talk through that. Well, you have to go through this schooling, this training, these internships, and kind of talk them through the process of how you get started into that career field, and then they get to kind of show them what a day-to-day is, what tools they use in their field.
Interactive activities included hands-on experiments and operating room tours. A round of applause is in order. The Rotary Club of Joplin today named its Rotarian of the Year during a ceremony at Missouri Southern's End Zone facility. The winner, Robin McAllister, a manager with Liberty Utilities. McAllister has a long history of involvement with Rotary and other organizations that serve the community.
I joined Rotary 20 plus years ago, and I think with most service clubs, you go because it's just work and you want to help your community grow. But over the 20 years of working alongside these folks and helping serve the community, it really has developed into lifelong friendships.
The organization says the award goes to a Rotarian who has gone above and beyond in service to the Joplin community and who exemplifies the Rotary principle of serving above self during the past 12 months. 2 Labette County, Kansas students are supplying fellow students in need during the back-to-school season. Hillary Bird and Faith Winters sold home-baked cookies throughout the summer and brought school supplies for students in their county. They noticed during COVID their community could use some help. Since then, the girls consistently raised thousands or more for supplies.
We started it about 3 years ago around the time COVID hit so that we could get school supplies because we knew it was going to be expensive and we could hand them out to the people that might not be able to get everything that they need.
Hillary and Faith say they are already planning for next year. And they weren't the only ones getting ready for the upcoming school year. The Miami School District today hosted a school resource fair. Parents were able to take their kids to a high school for a number of things. That includes immunizations, hearing and vision checks, haircuts, and get school supplies.
Many partners. I probably shouldn't start naming people because, you know, there are so many that I've left out, but our community is great. They love our kids. They know that we love our students, and together, you know, we hope that this will become an annual event that will only grow and grow.
Everything at the resource fair was free of charge. That's a look at our top news stories coming up on this half hour of the KOAM Morning News. Breweries in Massachusetts adopt working cats to help keep mice away. Plus, a legendary Italian goalkeeper retires from the sport of soccer. We'll have the latest. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. Topping World Watch, jailed Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny will soon find out his fate. The verdict in his latest extremism trial will be handed down Friday. Navalny, who is already serving an 11-and-a-half sentence in a maximum security prison in Russia, could see decades added to his time in prison. He took to social media Thursday to ask his followers to, quote, "Please show solidarity with me and other political prisoners," adding the main purpose of the prison term is to, quote, "intimidate you, not me." Navalny, an activist, has been a thorn on the side of Russian elites since 2008, exposing corruption within Russian state-run companies. And the U.S. is reportedly considering a plan to put troops on commercial ships in the Middle East. A U.S. official says the proposal is to place teams of approximately 20 sailors or Marines on commercial vessels traveling the Strait of Hormuz or the Gulf of Oman. Iran's Navy or Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps have tried to seize or harass ships on these waterways. Policymakers are reportedly looking at what authorities the military would need to conduct such a mission to protect commercial ships. They do caution there is a risk, such as a move could bring the U.S. and Iran closer to direct confrontation in the Middle East. And China is considering a proposal that would limit phone time for children. The Cyberspace Administration of China released a proposal that would require a minor mode on all mobile devices. This would restrict phone time to a maximum of 2 hours a day, depending on the age group. Anna Corin has more.
China is proposing new restrictions on children and teenagers on the time they can spend on the internet and mobile devices each day in a bid to counter internet addiction. The country's cyberspace regulator says it wants providers to introduce a so-called minor mode that would cut off users from accessing the internet on mobile devices from 10 p.m. through till 6 a.m. The proposal also includes a limit on how much time those under the age of 18 will be allowed to go online each day. Those under the age of 8, it will be 40 minutes a day. For those aged between 8 and 16, it's an hour a day. For those aged between 16 and 18, it's 2 hours a day. Once it's reached the limit, the device will shut down. There are a number of exceptions, including emergency services, educational products such as online classes, apps for the physical and mental development such as calculation and measurement applications. Also, parents can choose to exempt apps for the child plus opt out of time limits. We spoke to one parent in China. Let me read to you what that mother said. "I think it's good. On one hand, it can protect their eye vision, as many young kids cannot stop themselves while watching something they like. It helps automatically cut it off. On the other hand, it's easier for us parents to control our kids' screen time. Without parents' approval, they only have 40 minutes. Most importantly, the content under the teenage mode is more positive and healthy." Parents might be happy, but internet companies and their investors certainly are not. Shares in Chinese tech firms fell yesterday after news of the restrictions was announced. Bilibili fell almost 7%, Kaoshu fell 3.5%, while Tencent Holdings, which operates the social network app WeChat, closed down 3%. But they've all bounced in trading today. One lawyer based in Shanghai said these new rules would be a headache for internet companies with a lot of effort and cost to properly implement these new regulatory requirements. The draft proposal is open for public discussion until the 2nd of September. Now, it's important to remember that minor mode is nothing new. Chinese authorities have grown increasingly concerned about internet addiction among young people and wanting to cultivate good morality and socialist values. In 2021, the Chinese government imposed time limits for online gamers under the age of 18, barring them from playing video games on weekdays and restricting their play to 3 hours on weekends. And since 2021, Chinese social media platforms such as Douyin, the Chinese version of TikTok, have offered teenage modes to restrict users' access to content and duration of use. Anna Corrin, CNN, Hong Kong.
At the Women's World Cup, South Africa, ranked 54th going into the tournament, beat Italy with a 3-2 victory on Wednesday, pushing them through to the final 16. And if being knocked out of a World Cup tournament wasn't enough, fans of Italian football were saddened by news no follower of the beautiful game wants to hear: the retirement of a legend. Italian goalkeeper and goalpost icon Gianluigi Buffon announced that he will be hanging up his gloves after a spectacular 28-year career. Buffon leaves the pitch with a World Cup victory, 10 Serie A titles, and 1 league title under his belt. And a month-old baby monkey reunited with its mother on Thursday after being stolen earlier this week. The little macaque monkey named Forrest was stolen from a wildlife park in Italy, setting off an urgent search. A local resident found the baby abandoned in a cage on the street after the park alerted the public he was missing. Forrest immediately started breastfeeding once he was reunited with Mama. He is young and still needs milk. Authorities are still investigating the incident. And that's a look at some of the biggest headlines from around the world. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 5:45, almost 5:46 now on this finally Friday. And this finally Friday bringing us some scattered showers, even a few thunderstorms across some of our northern counties. We've had this little guy develop here recently into Crawford County. And then we've got a batch of little showers and storms developing along some outflow from some strong to severe thunderstorms that were occurring over parts of Kansas last night. Now, the stronger batch of these storms is heading right for Kansas City, but we've got outflow. You can watch that boundary just push right off, and as it does so, it's generating some additional development right along it, and we are seeing some redevelopment on the tail end of this line of storms, which will continue, and we will see scattered showers and thunderstorms throughout the day thanks to that. Now, we do have the possibility of some strong storms overnight tonight, and there could be a stray strong storm or two this afternoon, but the better chances are overnight tonight with maybe some small hail and gusty winds. As we go through the day, we're not going to see rain everywhere all at once. Not everyone will see rain all day today, but we'll have scattered showers and thunderstorms as we head through the afternoon and into the evening hours. You can see, again, they're isolated to widely scattered out there, but there is at least some rainfall. Late evening, it pauses momentarily, and then we'll see additional development overnight. You see that complex up there. That's our better chance for some stronger storms overnight tonight into tomorrow morning. We go through our Saturday. We continue with scattered thunderstorms throughout the day. And then as we go into Saturday overnight, we've got the possibility of some additional strong to severe thunderstorms. You can see this complex getting into about 1 o'clock Sunday morning. And as such, we do have an elevated risk right now for strong to severe thunderstorms for our Saturday. But again, this is primarily Saturday night into Sunday morning. So a lot to keep an eye on in terms of storms, which is great. We need that rain. We need to get rid of this, and we are about to do so. Excessive heat warnings again today for virtually every county out there. For heat index values, 105 to 115, making heat exhaustion likely, heat stroke possible. Hopefully, we're down to the last time that we're going to need to show you all of this. Stay hydrated, take frequent breaks, limit those outdoor activities, wear lightweight, light-colored clothes, and check on the elderly. Keep your pets inside as much as you can. MoDOT camera, 20th and Range line, looking great. Same from the KDOT camera at 69 and East 520th Avenue. However, it may end up picking up some rain here soon. You can see we got some partly cloudy skies out there in Joplin. 76, a much more manageable temperature, and no heat index this morning, and much more manageable temperatures around the area. 73 Iola, lots of 75s, Neodesha, Chanute, Parsons, Lamar, 76 Pittsburgh and Carthage, and 78 down in Miami. We get our morning started again, scattered showers out there, a little cooler, upper 80s by late morning. Unfortunately, still hot this afternoon as we go upper 90s, lower 100s across the area with those scattered thunderstorm chances. And we'll hold on to them through the evening. Overnight lows, again, much better, back into the mid-70s. We got triple digits again for our Saturday, and then that's the last time we're going to see them for a while. We got those thunderstorm chances. They'll last maybe into early Sunday morning. Then we'll go low 90s, upper 80s. More thunderstorm chances, though, as we head through the next work week. And you see, we do get low to mid 90s out there, but no triple digits for the next several days, so much more comfortable weather. That's a check your forecast. We'll be back with more of the KOAM morning news right after this.
A working cat is keeping pests away from a Boston area brewery. The owner says that the cat is an employee and even has a company ID. Mike Sullivan talked to the owner about how the cat has helped his business and the organization behind the Working Cat program, which finds homes for felines that aren't well suited for an indoor-only lifestyle.
When it comes to four-legged friends, only a few are pawing for work.
No one's coming. No one's attacking.
Jack's here. He's a real 9-to-5 feline.
He works for cat food and a place to sleep. And an ungodly amount of attention.
Brian Shirtliff is the owner of Bog Iron Brewing in Norton.
Why are you being all grumpy?
4 years ago, they quickly realized they had a mice problem.
Whenever you're going to have grain, unfortunately, you end up having rodents.
With the beer and food around, he became leery of using chemicals or poison.
Staff members suggested a cat. I was at my wit's end, said, sure, let's try it.
They contacted the Animal Protection Center, only to discover they have cats for hire.
He is a working cat, right?
Yeah,
I mean, he is on the job.
Yes, he lives here, yeah. He lives on the premises. He's a working cat. His collar says Bog Iron employee right on it.
After a few weeks, the mice were gone. You could say he asserted his presence to all.
I've been brewing almost 30 years. You know, I put my life into this place, and people are like, hey, can we meet the cat? And I'm like, yeah, yeah, thanks.
He became a mascot for the bar.
He begs like a dog. I've never seen a cat do it.
A social media darling.
Yeah, there's another one of them doing it.
If a brewery or another establishment has a cat on their staff, they should pretty much win the Employee of the Month award every single month.
Mike Kiley is the director of adoption centers for MSPCA Angel.
He's just starting to purr now. The natural connection between breweries and cats became apparent to us.
The MSPCA has had a working cat program for several years. Only recently have they seen breweries turning to them.
And so there's a lot of cats that do need these types of alternative placements.
Particularly outdoor cats who need constant stimulation or may not use a litter box.
I'm probably going to be an indoor cat. They need that social interaction. And so the places that welcome people to their establishment make a nice companion opportunity.
What a great way to not only help a cat, but also keep the mice away. We'll be right back after these messages. Home evictions are generally carried out by police officers, but the St. Louis Police Department is backing off of the eviction of its North Patrol Division station mascot, a cat named Felony. Felony has lived at the station since it showed up there as a stray in 2017. Its fancy digs at the North Patrol headquarters included a custom-made cat house outside the station. Felony was set to be removed Thursday and taken to a new home because some people working there are allergic to cats. But department leadership reversed course at the last minute and decided to let Felony continue living outside the station. However, it will now no longer be allowed inside. Two Amur leopard cubs at the Cheyenne Mountain Zoo cuddled with their mother in an outdoor area. Video posted by the zoo on August 2nd shows the 2-month-old leopards, Basha and Mango, have started exploring outdoor spaces around the zoo with their mom, Anya, according to the zoo. Amur leopards have been listed as critically endangered since 1996. They are the rarest big cat, with around 120 left in the wild.
Well, excessive heat warnings continue again today with heat index values around 105 to 115 degrees. One of the bigger changes, though, unfortunately, it means some extra humidity out there. But we've got partly to mostly cloudy skies, and we're looking at scattered showers and even some thunderstorms throughout the day. Now, not everybody's going to see rain all at once, but there will be scattered storms through the day. We'll be up into the upper 80s by late morning. Still hot, though. Upper 90s, lower 100s. Scattered thunderstorm chances continue. A stray strong storm or two is possible with maybe some gusty winds and small hail, but our better chance for a few more stronger storms will be overnight tonight into Saturday morning. And we'll drop back into the mid-70s overnight. Then we do have another chance of possibly some severe weather as we go from Saturday night into Sunday morning. We do have an elevated risk for severe weather with damaging wind gusts right now being the primary concern with that. One more day of triple digits. It's the last time for at least a little while that we're going to see 3 numbers on there, and that's Saturday as we go up to 100 again. We're looking at 93 Sunday, 90 on Monday, 89 by Tuesday. And here's the other great thing is, I know we've got to deal with some strong to severe thunderstorms. We don't want that. We don't need that, but we need that rain, and unfortunately, we've just got to take it however Mother Nature deals it. But we do have scattered thunderstorm chances that continue all the way into next weekend as we look down the road. Now, as you see, the chances aren't great. We're looking at isolated to widely scattered storms, but at least we have those rain chances on there. And look at these temperatures. Yeah, the warmest they're going to get is by next Sunday, 96. Looking at 95 on Wednesday. So they're not bad. We're talking lower 90s for the most part. And of course, even a couple of upper 80s. And look at these overnight lows. They get considerably better. Might be able to give your AC a break and even open up the window one of these nights coming up next week. That's a quick check your forecast. We'll have another hour of the KOAM morning news right after this.
Right now at 6, how area hospitals are dealing with an increase in heat-related illnesses.
And that heat continues with excessive heat warnings again today, but the relief is on its way. We'll take a look at that forecast coming up.
Also, the Freeman Physician Group in Neosho gets a financial injection of more than $1 million for expansion purposes.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. I'm Caitlin O'Shaughnessy.
I'm Chris Warner. Just after 6 a.m. now on this finally Friday in the 4 states.
Right.
We have made it through the week and we're still here. That's a plus,
yes,
right? That's a
we got
promising
through it.
sign. We made it, and we have got some great news for you in the forecast. It doesn't officially start today, but we get 50% of the good news today, and you're looking at it right now on the Skywatch Storm Tracker. Got a few scattered showers and thunderstorms out there. You can see stretching all the way from just north of Pittsburgh up to north of Chanute by Nevada, up into Bates County, Anderson County up there. A few of these scattered storms, and these are going to continue with us, and they're all thanks to this complex of what was some strong to severe thunderstorms out to our west. Now the bigger batch of this, the stronger batch, is heading up to the northeast, roughly toward the KC metro area. However, you can see that outflow boundary, and it's very well defined as it surges off to the south and east, and it's allowed for some additional development of a few more showers and storms, and we're seeing some redevelopment taking place back behind it. So we're going to deal with scattered showers and thunderstorms throughout the day today. Now, while a strong storm or two is possible this afternoon, we've got a better chance of some stronger storms with some small hail and gusty winds as we head into the overnight hours tonight into early Saturday morning. Throughout the day, though, not everybody will see rain, but there will be more of it than what we've seen the last couple of days, with scattered showers and thunderstorms continuing through the afternoon and into the evening. Now, by late evening, you see there's kind of a pause in the activity before we see redevelopment take place overnight, and that's where our chance for some stronger storms is going to be. And then we also, going Saturday night into Sunday morning, we have an elevated risk for some severe weather out there as well, with gusty winds being the primary threat. And of course, we still have the excessive heat warnings today. They run until 9 and 10 p.m. tonight, and that is for, again, those heat index values of 105 to 115 degrees. So make sure you are taking precautions out there. As mentioned, relief is on the way. We're going to have a full look at your forecast here in a few more minutes. Caitlin?
Thanks, Chris. Well, with the intense heat slamming the 4 states, local hospitals have seen an increase in heat-related illnesses in their emergency rooms. To avoid dealing with that, doctors have some essential advice. Stay hydrated and, if possible, indoors. But for some professions, avoiding the heat is challenging. KOAM's Fernanda Silva has the story.
During the summer, firefighters in the 4 states have to deal not only with the excessive heat that fires cause, but also with the high temperatures hitting the area. To handle that, the Reddings Mill Fire Department already has a plan in place, which includes working in cycles.
The primary department will begin a fire attack or whatever the operation may be, work for a period of time, and then with our mutual aid partners, they'll go in and work for a little bit of a period of time. and then we just constantly rotate them in and out.
The bunker coats also make it hotter for firefighters. While this layer doesn't let the heat come in, it also doesn't allow it to go out.
It's heavy, it's big, it's bulky.
Firefighters are not alone in having to deal with high temperatures. Emergency medicine physician Dr. Seth Bingman has seen an increase in heat-related illness in the emergency room.
What we're seeing a lot of is people just trying to go about their daily lives. They may be trying just to mow the yard, they may be trying to clear out a shed, they may be trying to just clear leaves off after a storm. But when it gets very humid outside, when the temperature goes up over 100 degrees, just simple everyday activities can become too much in this heat.
According to him, just like the firefighters do, taking breaks is a good idea to stay healthy on hot days. Staying hydrated is another essential step to avoid heat-related illness. Doctors recommend drinking not only water but also drinks like Gatorade that replenish electrolytes you lose when you sweat.
If you don't replace those, your body can't send the signals it needs to send, your organs can't function properly, and you can actually get cases where your organs shut down because of this.
In Joplin, Fernanda Silva, KOAM News.
High body temperature, excessive sweating, dizziness, and confusion are some symptoms of heat-related illnesses. And don't forget, you can be the first to know about the day's weather with the KOAM Skywatch weather app. Get severe weather updates sent straight to your phone free of charge. It's available in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store, the KOAM Skywatch weather app. A Kansas City, Kansas woman has died after she was hospitalized in a near drowning on Saturday. The Missouri Highway Patrol reports the victim as Yolanda Munoz Garcia. She was 19 years old. Investigators say she was swimming near the Hahatonka State Park when she began to struggle in a current. Witnesses say she went underwater and did not resurface on her own. And investigators say two semi-trucks that overturned along Interstate 49 never actually touched each other. It happened just before 5 a.m. yesterday morning near the Goodman exit. The Highway Patrol tells us one semi overturned on the right side of the road, then a second truck came upon the overturned semi, blocking the lane. That second truck swerved and missed the wreck, but overturned into the median on the left. Authorities took one driver to the hospital. And Pittsburgh has two arrests of two people that seized thousands of fentanyl pills. Several agencies on the state and local level, including the KBI, Pittsburgh Police, and Crawford County Sheriff's Office, teamed up to make the arrests. An investigation led to a search warrant executed yesterday morning in Pittsburgh. During the search, authorities found an estimated 5,000 counterfeit oxycodone pills suspected of containing fentanyl. Two people, a man and a woman, were arrested. Freeman Physician Group in Neosho is getting an expansion with the help of a $1.2 million investment. Freeman is building a family medicine residency clinic for Kansas City University. The clinic will have 6 residents total, with 2 new ones added each year. The residents will perform lab work, medical procedures, and patient care.
Finding a primary care provider is sometimes a very large challenge. They have transportation challenges, distance requirements, so they have great challenges finding primary care providers just because of the rural nature.
As we bring, and have 6 residents here all the time, the likelihood of at least one of those choosing to stay is pretty high, and that pipeline is going to be ongoing. So it helps provide stability, and that's honestly one of the greatest barriers for rural medicine, is having physicians who are willing to work in those areas.
The clinic is projected to open July of next year. However, Freeman is currently searching for their 2 newest residents. And Freeman yesterday also renewed its partnership with Pitt State. That partnership marks Freeman as the official sports medicine partner and provider of the university. It was first established in 2014, and now it will run for another 5 years.
We provide support for the gorillas. So we have the team physician in Dr. Ryan Sorrell. We have the team orthopedic surgeon in Dr. Mike Zafuda. We have a number of athletic trainers and physical therapists. So we provide the entire medical team for the gorillas.
The extension was signed at the Pitt State Plaster Center. Mercy Hospital in Joplin yesterday gave kids a chance to explore different career fields. They teamed up with the Southwest Missouri Area Health Education Center to host a MASH camp. The camp is designed to spark an interest in science and healthcare careers among junior high students. Attendees were able to tour the hospital, get hands-on experience with equipment, and check out an operating room.
So it's a way for them to kind of get their feet wet, kind of have an idea of what that career might entail, and get to meet people actually practicing in the field so that they can ask questions and kind of explore.
How it opens up more like reasons to go in the medical industry and see the help that and the people that need to be helped.
The students were also able to get an up-close look at emergency vehicles. That's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News, Former President
Trump is back in New Jersey after a third historic arraignment. I'm Nicole D'Antonio with details on what happened in the D.C. federal courtroom and what comes next.
Plus, Mississippi School District is requiring all students to wear clothes that goes with their biological sex. And Chris Warner returns with another look at your Friday forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. Topping Nation Watch this morning, a Mississippi School District's new dress code requires all students to wear clothes consistent with their biological sex. This comes after the Harrison County School District was at the center of a lawsuit over a graduation dress earlier this year. School officials had refused to let students walk the stage if their clothes underneath their gowns did not reflect their gender at birth. A federal judge ultimately ruled in the school district's favor. Anyone not complying with the rules will be placed in school reassignment. In response to a request for comment, the school district only said the dress code can be found in the school district's handbook. King of Queens actress Leah Remini has filed a lawsuit against the Church of Scientology and its leader, David Miscavige. The legal filing alleges that years of harassment, intimidation, and defamation. Remini's representatives say she's seeking a grand jury trial, damages, and an end to the alleged conduct. The actress is a former Scientologist who went on to star in an E! Documentary series criticizing the church. Neither Miscavige nor the church immediately responded to requests for comment Thursday. In 2016, the church issued a statement about Remini and her TV series. The church maintains that many allegations in the show were false and it accused the actress of, quote, promoting hatred and religious intolerance. Federal law enforcement is ramping up its sexual misconduct investigation into World Wrestling Entertainment executive Chairman Vince McMahon. The company announced this week McMahon was subpoenaed last month and a search warrant was executed. Federal agents also demanded WWE hand over certain documents. McMahon has not been charged with the crime. When he left his CEO position back in July 2022, WWE disclosed that McMahon hadn't reported multiple expenses. The payments totaled nearly $20 million. Much of that money was related to the company's investigation of McMahon's alleged sexual misconduct. He has denied the allegation. In Washington Thursday, former President Donald Trump was arraigned in the special counsel's January 6 related case. The 45-page indictment accuses Trump of trying to unlawfully retain power after he lost the 2020 election. The former president pushed back on the charges in court, later calling it, quote, a sad day in America, unquote. CBS News' Nicole D'Antonio has more on how the day unfolded and what comes next.
Former President Trump is back at his New Jersey golf club after a third historic arraignment. In a Washington courtroom Thursday, Trump entered a not guilty plea to 4 federal charges accusing him of trying to overturn the 2020 election results in the latest case brought by special counsel Jack Smith.
This is a persecution of a political opponent.
Cameras were not allowed in the courtroom as the former president appeared before a magistrate judge. The defense and prosecutors agreed to allow Trump's release pending trial under the conditions that he cannot violate federal law and must appear as required. He is also not allowed to communicate about the facts of the case to anyone he knows to be a witness, except through lawyers. Trump is not required to attend the next hearing, which is scheduled for August 28th. At that time, the judge could set a trial date. The special counsel has said he wants a speedy trial. The former president also faces state charges in New York as well as more federal charges in Florida in the special counsel's classified documents probe. A charging decision is expected soon in Fulton County, Georgia, in their investigation into efforts to overturn the election results. Nicole D'Antonio, CBS News, Washington.
Sources say former President Trump's legal team plans to push to delay trial and that they plan to shift the blame onto lawyers who advised Trump after the 2020 election. Right now, Trump is the only person who has been charged in the special counsel's January 6 probe, though the investigation is ongoing. And that's a look at some of today's top national stories. Here's Chris with a look at the forecast.
Yeah, we've got some scattered showers and thunderstorms out there across the area, and those will continue through today. Unfortunately, we also have the excessive heat warnings that are still in place across the area as well, with heat index values anywhere from 105 to 115 degrees. There is relief on the way, and we'll have another look at your forecast in just a few more minutes. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 6:18 now on this finally Friday across the 4 states. And we're showing you the Skywatch Storm Tracker where we've got some scattered showers and even some thunderstorms out there. This shower from Crawford County now moving into Barton County. We got scattered showers, thunderstorms across the area. We've got some more that developed thanks to some outflow from strong to severe thunderstorms last night in Kansas. Now the stronger activity is pushing off to the northeast toward KC Metro up towards St. Joe. The outflow boundary, which you can very clearly see, triggered some additional showers out there, and we've got some thunderstorm development taking place behind that, and that's going to leave us with scattered thunderstorms throughout the day. Now, a stray strong storm or two is possible this afternoon, but our better chances for stronger storms will be overnight tonight with some small hail and perhaps some gusty winds out there as we head into our Sunday morning. But scattered thunderstorms throughout the day is going to be the theme. Now, unfortunately, it doesn't do anything for our temperatures today, and at worst, it makes it much more muggy out there than we've been the last few days, but we are getting to see some much needed rainfall. Now, late evening, there's a bit of a pause in the activity, and then it will return overnight, and this is where our chance for some stronger storms will be as we head into early Saturday morning across the area. We'll spend our Saturday with some scattered storms as well throughout the day, and then as we go into Saturday overnight into early Sunday morning, we'll see another opportunity for some strong, possibly severe thunderstorms across the area, and as such, again, Saturday night into Sunday morning, we do have an elevated risk for some severe weather tomorrow across the area, and that is again primarily for gusty winds across the region. For today, we still have the excessive heat warnings, the same counties and the same times, and for the same reason, heat index values 105 to 115, making heat exhaustion likely, heat stroke possible. So hopefully this is some of the last times we got to show you this information, but make sure you stay hydrated, take frequent breaks, limit those outdoor activities, wear lightweight, light-colored clothes, and make sure you're checking on the elderly and keeping your pets indoors as much as you can. In Joplin, we got mostly cloudy skies thanks to the neighboring showers. We're a little bit more manageable though, 76, no heat index out there. It's still muggy, but it's not as bad as it has been the last few mornings. We got 73 Iola, 75 Fort Scott, 77 in Nevada, 75 Lamar, 76 Pittsburgh, 74 Neodesha Parsons, 79 Miami, and 76 in Neosho. So we've got the scattered showers throughout our morning, going into the upper 80s by late morning, and they're otherwise partly to mostly cloudy skies. We'll hold on to those partly to mostly cloudy skies through the afternoon. Highs, again, upper 90s, lower 100s out there with scattered thunderstorm chances through the afternoon and again into the evening hours across the area. And we're still pretty warm through the evening, but eventually with more storm chances overnight, we'll drop back down into the mid 70s across the area. Still looking at triple digits tomorrow, unfortunately, but then we get those thunderstorms in here by the evening hours and overnight. And that kicks us down considerably back into the low 90s, upper 80s out there. We have thunderstorm chances nearly every day next week. Now, they're low chances, but they are there. So at least some of us will continue to see some much needed rainfall across the area. The warmest we're going to get is into the mid 90s. We're otherwise low 90s with overnight lows manageable enough that you might be able to give that AC a bit of a break and open a couple of windows in the house, let that cooler air in. Let's check your forecast. We're back with Health Watch right after this.
Topping Health Watch this morning, the powerful heat waves Americans are experiencing this summer are hitting one group particularly hard: runners. Michael George spoke with running coaches about how the sport is adapting to record-breaking temperatures and the possibility this could become the new normal.
Running coach Kai Eng says doing what he loves when temperatures are hitting the 90s or even hundreds isn't easy.
It is suffocating. It is very uncomfortable.
But it's not just uncomfortable. Running can also be dangerous in the midst of one of the hottest summers on record. As CBS News medical contributor Dr. Celine Gounder explains.
The issue is when it's really hot but also humid. It makes it that much harder for the body to cool off.
Some runners are changing how they run to adapt as heat waves like this become more common. Eng is telling his clients to avoid the sun if they can.
So that means running early in the morning, running late in the evening, running in the shade, or running indoors.
Marathon runners are being advised to acclimatize their bodies to the heat. That means exercising in higher temperatures 10 to 14 days ahead of a race, so the body adjusts. Eng also suggests runners wear lighter clothing and slow down their pace.
If you find yourself breathing hard, that's a very clear sign that you must slow down.
Warning signs for heat stroke include dizziness, headache, and confusion. In this heat, it's more important than ever to stay hydrated.
Making sure that you run with some kind of water or sports drink so that you are hydrating along the way. By the time you're thirsty, you're already dehydrated.
You can't outrun the heat, but you can be prepared for it. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
Doctors also suggest you bring a phone when you run so you can call for help if you start experiencing heat stroke. And the number of girls diagnosed with early puberty increased significantly during the pandemic. A new study published in the Journal of the Endocrine Society tracked girls in Italy and found that factors like too much screen time and reduced physical activity may be to blame. Obesity is a known contributor to early puberty, and girls diagnosed did tend to have higher body mass index scores. Newly identified biomarkers could help doctors avoid unnecessary chemotherapy for some ovarian cancer patients. Researchers at Mount Sinai have identified a protein signature that may predict which patients have a specific cancer that never responds to chemo. Roughly a third of ovarian cancer patients have that type, but there's never been a way to identify it before receiving treatment. And there may be real power in peppermint oil. A study published in the journal BMJ finds peppermint oil aromatherapy may ease pain for patients after open heart surgery. The study also suggests it can enhance sleep quality. Researchers say essential oils could boost the effectiveness of other painkillers or even replace them, and alleviating pain can lead to faster recovery. That's a look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
Yeah, we've got ourselves a few showers and even a couple of thunderstorms out there. We're going to hold on to these scattered showers and thunderstorms across the area as we go through the day. Unfortunately, we also have those excessive heat warnings out there again today, and that's because the showers and storms, the one negative trade-off is make it a little bit more muggy than what we've seen the last few days. So even with some slightly lower temperatures, humidity levels will still be high. We do still have relief from this heat on the way. We'll take another look at your forecast when the KOAM Morning News returns.
Right now at 6:30, the Joplin Rotary Club announces the 2023 Rotarian of the Year.
We've got some scattered showers and even some thunderstorms out there across the area. Unfortunately, we still have another day of excessive heat. Take a look at that forecast coming up.
Plus, Miami High School opens its doors for a school resource fair.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6:30. I'm Caitlin O'Shaughnessy.
I'm Chris Warner. So it is again warm and muggy out there, but not nearly as bad as where we have been. We've got showers and thunderstorms across the area as well. Let's take a look at the Skywatch Storm Tracker, and we want to show you that rain. I know over the last few days, I've had to give the caveat that 90% of what was on here wasn't happening. This case, it is the opposite. 90% of what's on here is happening, as we've got scattered showers, and we've even had a few thunderstorms out there rolling through the area this morning. All thanks to a complex of strong to severe thunderstorms overnight in Kansas. Now, the stronger storms are pushing off toward the north side of KC towards St. Joe, but look at that outflow boundary just racing off of that, and it's triggered some additional shower development. You can see it's not super organized, but some rain is better than no rain. And we've had some redeveloping thunderstorms on the backside as well. Not looking terribly impressive, but at least there's some activity out there. Now, as we head through the day, scattered thunderstorms will be the theme. Into the afternoon, a stray strong storm or two will be possible, but it's overnight tonight into early tomorrow morning where the better chance of some stronger storms is, with some small hail and perhaps some gusty winds possible. We're otherwise just going to be dealing with some scattered, isolated to widely scattered showers and thunderstorms as we head through the afternoon today. So as you can see, not everybody getting rain through today, but at least there is some rain activity out there, and that's a precursor to some additional thunderstorms that we'll start to see. And here comes that bigger batch overnight, where you can see that's going to be our better opportunity into early tomorrow morning for some stronger storms. We'll spend our Saturday with scattered showers and thunderstorms across the area as well, and we'll still be hot tomorrow. Unfortunately, temperatures still getting close to 100, but we see more rain chances. Then we go into Saturday overnight into early Sunday morning. We get this complex of showers and thunderstorms, and that could actually be severe, a little bit more severe, with damaging wind gusts, the primary threat. And so as such, tomorrow night into Sunday morning, we do have an elevated risk for those strong to severe thunderstorms across the area. For today, another day of excessive heat warnings, same counties, same time frame through the late evening hours tonight, with heat index values of 105 to 115 possible, so heat exhaustion likely, heat stroke possible. You got to make sure you are taking precautions out there, staying hydrated, taking breaks, limiting those outdoor activities, wear lightweight, light colored clothing. Make sure you're checking on elderly and the pets as well. You don't want to leave them outside for too terribly long. We're going to take another in-depth look at your forecast and also talk about when that relief is going to get here and what it looks like here in just a few more minutes. Caitlin?
Thanks, Chris. Well, a round of applause is in order. The Rotary Club of Joplin named its Rotarian of the Year during a ceremony at Missouri Southern's End Zone facility. The winner, Robin McAllister, a manager with Liberty Utilities. McAllister has a long history of involvement with Rotary and other organizations that serve the community.
I joined Rotary 20 plus years ago, and I think with most service clubs, you go because it's just work and you want to help your community grow. But over the 20 years of working alongside these folks and helping serve the community, it really has developed into lifelong friendships.
The organization says the award goes to a Rotarian who has gone above and beyond in service to the Joplin community and who exemplifies the Rotary principle of service above self during the past 12 months. MoDOT is inviting public's input on what its funding priorities should be. MoDOT is inviting public input on what its funding priorities should be, and the department, working with regional planning partners, has identified $1.1 billion in annual unfunded transportation needs for the system. Yesterday, they held a meeting in Joplin asking the public to weigh in on where the funds should go.
We look at 3 tiers of projects for road and bridges, and then we have a tier of projects for multimodal needs. And so some examples of what we're looking at, the biggest projects include rebuilding the I-49 Route 171 interchange in Carthage to upgrade it so that Route 249 can be interstate status. And then another project we're looking at is design and starting the phases of buying right-of-way for a west bypass of the Joplin metropolitan area.
MoDOT's system covers more than 33,000 miles of roads and more than 10,000 bridges. 2 Labette County, Kansas students are supplying fellow students in need during the back-to-school season. Hillary Bird and Faith Winters sold homemade cookies throughout the summer and brought school supplies for students in their county. They noticed during COVID their community could use some help. Since then, the girls consistently raised thousands or more for supplies.
We started it about 3 years ago, around the time COVID hit, so that we could get school supplies because we knew it was going to be expensive, and we could hand them out to the people that might not be able to get everything that they need.
Hillary and Faith say they are already planning for next year. And they weren't the only ones getting ready for the upcoming school year. The Miami School District hosted a school resource fair. Parents were able to take their kids to the high school for a number of things that includes immunizations, hearing and vision checks, haircuts, and to get school supplies.
Many partners. I probably shouldn't start naming people because, you know, there are so many that I've left out, but our community is great. They love our kids. They know that we love our students, and together, you know, we hope that this will become an annual event that will only grow and grow.
Everything at the resource fair was free of charge. And that's a look at the top news stories coming up on this half hour of the KOAM Morning News. It's Friday, and you know what that means. We've got Shannon Becker in the studio to help us close out the week with his big 3 news stories.
He seems very excited about that. Shannon, you might be more excited to know that temperatures are going to begin to fall back, and we've got more rain chances out there. Might make it a little easier for you to do your job and for everybody across the 4 states. We'll have another look at that forecast when we come back.
Welcome back.
I guess we're back. I said out loud.
Where was the countdown?
I don't know. I'm just sitting here like, wow.
Welcome back. We've got Shannon Becker in the studio with his big 3 news stories of the week. Good morning, Shannon.
My gosh.
Huh?
No matter what I do,
I
I still would look the same, so it's all right. Let's take a look at the big 3 this week. Live and local stories, what's happening where you live. This last Friday night, a serious crash involving a wrecker that was loaded with a vehicle behind it. So as they were traveling on 66 into Joplin, a vehicle pulled into the path of that wrecker. The wrecker swerved and then overturned. You don't see a wrecker like that crash, obviously, very often. That's the vehicle that pulled into the path of it. 2 people to the hospital from that one person out of the wrecker. I think the male from the wrecker is now home from the hospital. There's no update on the 2 in the passenger car. Our number 2 story. A lot of people have been losing their mind about this. The Joplin License Office, new management, and they have moved. Now, in the state of Missouri, the license offices are operated on a bid basis. So a different business bid to operate the license office. So that's why they moved to the Silver Creek Galleria. They opened this last Monday. I've been out there. People are going. It's busy. If you want an alternate way, instead of getting on Range Line to get out there, just take Connecticut, go north to 44th in Connecticut, and it's really easy to go in the back way there. So the new Joplin License Office location. You can do a lot of stuff online now too, though. Our number 1 story, live and local in those storms as we started off the week this week. This is a vehicle that rolled. 2 people walked away from that, didn't even talk to police. Not really sure who's even driving. How about this? A big pole still not been completely repaired at 32nd in front of the Joplin Greenhouse. They've got that propped up currently. They'll have to replace that pole, though, of course. So many people were out of power. It's 25,000 just Liberty alone. That didn't include Newmack. It didn't include Barton County. Just north of us, Evergy, they had 75,000 people were without power. So some strong winds as they blew through. And then our bonus story of the week. Now, I know you're new in town, Caitlin, but you should maybe think about checking out the Marion Days. 80,000 people expected this week in Carthage. Some Carthage police officers. We played some shoe game the other day when I was out there. I don't have any idea what it was, and they didn't either, but they played along wonderfully. Last night I was over there, they opened their restaurants. So if you like traditional Vietnamese food or you want to experience that, they have that. What it is, it's a celebration of Mary. So they're just Catholics, but they are from Vietnam. So they're it's American Catholicism, but they're Vietnamese people. So when the fall of Saigon, they came to America. So this is the descendants of that group. So boba tea, have you ever had boba tea?
Oh, I love boba tea.
Well, they've got it for you. And they've got that stuff. I don't even know how to say it all on the sign there. But then they have chicken strips, burgers, and French fries. They do have that too. So there's something for everybody. And there's a lot of heat. Oh, it's so hot over there.
Okay, I love that. I mean, look how many people are there. That looks like
huge.
The spot to be this weekend.
It's the 44th year they've done it. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, definitely have to check that out.
It's important.
I mean, the food alone looks amazing.
Yep, it's great.
That's wonderful. And well, thank you for joining us,
All
Shannon. Right. We'll see you right back here.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. Time for some Finally Friday birthdays here in the 4 states. We're going to begin in Oswego with Macy Ray Zwalen celebrating birthday number 5. Happy birthday.
And happy birthday to William Bishop, who's turning 14 over in Pittsburgh, Kansas.
And Brandy Rush over in Jasper celebrating number 42. Happy birthday, Brandy.
Over in Columbus, Kansas, we have a birthday boy, Xander Newman.
And also in Columbus, Maya Hamilton celebrating a birthday. Happy birthday, Maya.
Hey, one more in Columbus. We got Isaiah Nelson. Happy birthday, Isaiah.
The party is definitely in the bus today. We've also got back over in Jasper, Dana Storm celebrating number 62. Happy birthday. Or 63, I'm sorry. You know what? Just make it 62, Dana. You don't have to age any further. Happy birthday.
Happy 66th birthday to Billy Parrish over in Crestline.
And Kathy Parrish in Crestline as well, celebrating birthday number 67. That's sending much love from their favorite child in Florida.
Love that. Happy 70th birthday to Jeannie Stalling over in Joplin.
And we've also got Lucille Chrismore celebrating number 97 in Coffeyville. Very happy birthday to you, Lucille.
And happy 9th anniversary to Dawn and Patty Watson over in Weir, Kansas. Congratulations.
And Fred and Nancy Garzone in Pittsburgh celebrating another year of wedded bliss. Very happy anniversary to the Garzones.
And over in Crestline, Kansas, Billy Parrish turned 66.
And back in Joplin, Jeff Biber celebrating number 62. Happy birthday, Jeff.
And happy birthday to Shirley Peterman in Coffeyville.
And Marilyn White over in Scammon. Happy birthday.
And for Richie Clarkson, who's turning 72, you have a message saying Jerry Golub wishes his friend of 55 years a wonderful day.
All right. We've also got Steve Lohr in Pittsburgh celebrating birthday number 70.
And happy birthday to Karen McLamery in Joplin.
All right, now that list was considerably better than what it's been the last couple of days, but still too many folks without pictures being submitted. Caitlin, where do they need to send all that information?
Submit your birthday and anniversary shout-outs to birthdays@KOAMnewsnow.com. Feel free to include messages and pictures.
And of course, while you're on our website, make sure you take time to sign up for the KOAM Birthday Club. It is really easy to do. All you have to do is head over to our website and click on that. You get great deals from local businesses, and you get a special birthday message from your friends here at KOAM with that KOAM Birthday Club. And a very special message from the Skywatch weather team this morning. Take a look at all this. We've got scattered showers. We've got scattered thunderstorms out there all across the region. Now, unfortunately, not everybody's going to see rain, but we have several rain chances over the next several days across the area. This is just one part of it as we continue to see the outflow from that batch of what was strong to severe thunderstorms in Kansas. It's pushed off a very well-defined outflow boundary that's triggered some additional showers out there. A little bit of development taking place back behind that, and we've had some development out ahead of all of that as well. Now, as we head into the afternoon, scattered storms still possible. Could see a stray strong storm or two, but the better chances for stronger storms be late night tonight into early Saturday morning with some small hail and perhaps some gusty winds as the primary threats out there. Otherwise, through today, we're partly to mostly cloudy. We're going to see scattered thunderstorms, and as you can see, again, not everybody getting in on thunderstorm activity throughout the afternoon, but at least some of us will. There's a brief lull in activity late this evening, and then as we head overnight, that's where that batch of some stronger storms is possible, say between about 1 a.m. and 6 a.m. And then our Saturday, it's the same thing. We have scattered storms throughout our Saturday as well. And then we go overnight Saturday into early Sunday morning, and we see another round of strong, potentially severe thunderstorms across the area. And so for Saturday night into Sunday morning, we do have an elevated risk for some severe weather out there, with damaging winds being the primary threat. We also, again, have those excessive heat warnings for the majority of the area, and that's for those heat index values anywhere from 105 to 115, so heat exhaustion likely, heat stroke possible, and you got to make sure you're taking the precautions. Take those frequent breaks, stay hydrated, limit your outdoor activities, wear lightweight, light-colored clothes, and make sure you're checking on the elderly and the pets. We've got those storm clouds to the north of Joplin, not getting in on the rain, but we are mostly cloudy, 76, and no heat index for the first time in the last several days at this hour. We've been up there with heat index values close to 90. Got 74 Iola, 75 Fort Scott, 76s Nevada, Lamar, Pittsburgh, Carthage, Chautauqua, 78 in Miami, and 79 in Anderson. As we get our morning started, again, scattered showers, a few thunderstorms out there. We're going to make it up into the upper 80s by late morning. The problem with the showers and thunderstorms on a day like today is they add a lot more humidity. So our temperatures are just a pinch cooler, upper 90s and right around 100 degrees out there. But with all the humidity from the storms, even if you don't get one, you're going to be close enough. That's why we have the excessive heat warnings continuing. We'll continue to stay warm, and as we go through the evening, those scattered thunderstorm chances continue. And then as we get the bigger batches of rain, that'll help kick our temperatures down into the mid 70s for our overnight lows. We're pushing near 100 one more time for us on Saturday, and we'll get that second round of thunderstorms in overnight Saturday into Sunday, and that's going to kick our temperatures back down primarily into the low to mid 90s. And then we hold on to thunderstorm chances. They're slight, but they are there all the way through next weekend. So again, they're going to be hit and miss. Not everybody gets rain all at once, but we do have some good rain chances as we head through the next several days, and of course considerably more manageable temperatures. That's a check of your forecast. So when we come back, we'll have the news you need to know. And coming up, when the KOAM Morning News switches on over to Fox 14, we'll meet a set of twins who recently learned that they have 65 other siblings. Can you imagine finding that out? Well, we'll tell you what it's like for them to find that out when the KOAM Morning News switches over to Fox 14 at 7 a.m.
And here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Investigators say two semi-trucks that overturned along Interstate 49 never actually touched each other. It happened just before 5 a.m. yesterday near the Goodman exit. The Highway Patrol tells us one semi overturned on the right side of the road, then a second truck came upon the overturned semi blocking the lane. That second truck swerved and missed the wreck, but overturned into the median on the left. Authorities took one driver to the hospital. And several agencies on the state and local level, including the KBI, Pittsburgh Police, and Crawford County Sheriff's Office, teamed up to make the arrest of an investigation that led to a search warrant executed yesterday morning in Pittsburgh. During the search, authorities found an estimated 5,000 counterfeit oxycodone pills suspected of containing fentanyl. Two people, a man and a woman, were arrested. And the Rotary Club of Joplin named its Rotarian of the Year during a ceremony at Missouri Southern's End Zone facility. The winner, Robin McAllister, a manager with Liberty Utilities. McAllister has a long history of involvement with Rotary and other organizations that serve the community. The organization says the award goes to a Rotarian who has gone above and beyond in the service to the Joplin community and who exemplifies the Rotary principle of service above self during the past 12 months. Freeman Physician Group in Neosho is getting an expansion with the help of a $1.2 million investment. Freeman is building a family medicine residency clinic for Kansas City University. The clinic will have 6 residents total, with 2 new ones added each year. The residents will perform lab work, medical procedures, and patient care. The clinic is projected to open July of next year. However, Freeman is currently searching for their 2 newest residents. And that's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door.
And as you head out the door, excessive heat warnings again today. Heat index values 105 to 115. Scattered showers and thunderstorms today. Highs upper 90s, lower 100s. Scattered showers and storms continue through the evening, and then more storm chances overnight back to the mid 70s. Some of those could be strong with some small hail and gusty winds. More scattered storms on Saturday, still triple digits though. And then we could see some severe weather Saturday night into early Sunday morning. And then those storms though kick us back down upper 90s for the week ahead with more scattered storm chances.
And coming up today at noon, we're making cinnamon swirl raisin bread in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
And your morning news continues on KOAM with CBS Mornings. Tom Brady is taking a new role with a British football team. Ahead on CBS Mornings, a look into why top U.S. athletes and celebrities can't get enough of soccer across the pond.
Or you can switch on over with us on Fox 14, where your local morning news continues. This morning, Shannon Becker joins us back in studio to share his big 3 stories of the week.
Plus, we meet a bear that steals golf clubs instead of picnic baskets. That was interesting, but that's going to wrap it up for us for now. We will be back here on Monday morning at 5 a.m.
And we'll see you today at noon.